Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank you. And Mr. Tonko, thank you so much for your leadership and for putting this together and for leading this bill year after year. Mr. Speaker, I rise today in strong opposition to the Trump administration's unconscionable and irresponsible attacks on America's scientific integrity. The very foundation of our success as a world power has been our scientific prowess. And now the Trump administration is threatening to undermine that success. That's why I'm here to talk about our bill with Representative Paul Tonko, the Scientific Integrity Act, and to defend the very foundation of what makes America a global leader, our scientific leadership and infrastructure. I'm proud to represent the National Science Foundation here in Alexandria, Virginia, the very heart of Virginia. The NSF is an incredible resource and institution. It was established in 1950 by Congress as an independent agency to promote scientific advancement in America. For 75 years, it has repeatedly accomplished that goal. NSF has helped to keep the U.S. at the forefront of scientific discovery. It helped catalyze the internet, develop the technology for MRI machines and 3D printing machines. It created American Sign Language, detected gravitational waves, developed LASIK eye surgery, and much, much more. Over its lifetime, the National Science Foundation has supported over 350,000 scientists, and of this number, 262 have won Nobel Prizes. Trump has already begun unprecedented attacks on the scientific community, with purges of NSF workers and grants, scientific advisors, and the broader scientific workforce. I strongly oppose these efforts to target the National Science Foundation and weaken one of the guiding lights that make America strong. I'm also deeply concerned about this new era of censorship in science. NSF employees were given a list of words, this list of words, to look for in grants and flag them for possible termination. This, by the way, is only a sampling of the words. It's much longer. Mr. Speaker, I invite you and all who are watching to take a look at this list right next to me. This is just a portion of the full list, but it's a representative sample. Oh, wait, I can't use representative. It's on the list. What's most frustrating to me is that many of these words are just standards words you would use in basic science. Why the censorship? I thought Republicans hated the cancel culture. This list contains women and female, but no mention of men or male. My Republican friends have been telling me that there are only two genders. But now that we can't speak the word woman, are we down to just one? There's black and indigenous are on this list, but no white. It's very clear that the only identity not censored is mine. But why is being a woman or being part of a tribe make you ineligible for science? Why is the Trump administration attacking tribal communities? I also don't understand this censorship of indigenous communities. It's also clear that the person who wrote this list has never been a scientist. It is ill-fitting, unwise, and actively harmful for scientific purposes. The inclusion of many of these words like bias, included, or excluded clearly shows that none of these people in charge of this list were scientists. If there were, they would know that many of these words are used in common scientific papers. Mr. Speaker, imagine if you were a grant applicant applying to develop the newest MRI technology or develop a new drug locally, or if you were on the precipice of discovering a new gene in a plant, or if you were about to take pictures of two black holes for the first time. Imagine that this is your life's work. And now imagine that you have to comb through your proposal or your dissertation you spent months or years working on just to find every instance of words that don't belong there. It doesn't matter if your instance of the word polarization refers to the magnetic field on an MRI machine instead of political polarization. It doesn't matter if your use of the word indigenous is referring to an indigenous plant, or if activism refers to the state of an enzyme, or inclusion or excluded refers to the statistical analysis of the variables you are using. And it doesn't matter if black refers to the black hole you're studying. Your study is now going to be flagged by Trump's immature, and sometimes we learn today even blatantly racist, cronies at DOJ, who built a flowchart on how to handle these words. They want to find any way to terminate your program regardless of intent. The fact that these commonly used words are on this list indicates a lack of consideration of basic science. Someone should have spent more time in high school chemistry, physics, or biology class. The list also indicates that the Trump administration is sending NSF on an internal manhunt, one that will waste an incredible amount of time and energy that could be much better used on advancing science. If this list forces scientists to rewrite papers to avoid or minimize use of the words found on this arbitrary list, it further delays our already long grant process, and then it hurts science. If this list delays a drug's development or incredible discoveries that keep America at the forefront of scientific development, then it hurts science. And if scientists are interrogated by DOEs to determine if their use of polarization refers to a scientific principle or a political principle, then it hurts science. And if our scientists have to seriously reconsider whether they even want to apply for the grant in the first place, then it hurts science. And if NSF is discouraged from hiring or giving grants to any scientists except white, non-Hispanic men, well, we shouldn't expect many Nobel Prizes in the future. And if this treatment of our science and our scientists escalates and pushes scientists out of America or out of the field, then it only hurts our economy, hurts our country, and it helps China. It's time to stop this madness and protect the American success story. And that's why I'm here today, to decry these attacks on America, our science, and the National Science Foundation. And that's why our Scientific Integrity Act is so important. This bill would call on agencies to develop scientific integrity standards. We need scientists, not corrupt industry hacks, leading our future. We need scientists who seek the truth, rather than those who are paid to produce studies that help the businesses who pay them. I urge my colleagues to join us on the Scientific Integrity Act and act now to protect America's international leadership. And I yield my time back.